What's up, guys? What's growing on? So you see old Red here. You must know that I'm back at Jim Kovaleski's house. It is May 12th and it was like in the 50s this morning. Totally not normal and cool for this time of year, but I'll take it. It has been beautiful. And I'm back here to get you guys a quick little follow-up video. See Jim, see what's growing on, see what's ripening. But most importantly, he's leaving for Maine. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit, talk about when he's coming back. Something else I want to point out, I have never mentioned to you guys, or maybe I have mentioned, but I don't really throw it out there a lot. We got noise coming, hold on. We have a course of Jim Kovaleski. I don't really promote the course too much. I filmed it a few years ago while I was up in Maine, and we're constantly working to make that course better. You know, I think in the last 3 months, we've probably done another 100 hours of editing work on it, updating descriptions, updating links, and just trying to make it better for you all. That's always down in the link for the description in the Jim videos. And something I want to tell you is I'm bringing Jim another check today. So this is another commission check. Jim gets a cut of all of those classes that are sold. So not only, you know, by buying that class are you kind of helping to support us, but you're kind of helping to support Jim also. And this is a very reasonable class. It's like under 200 bucks. It's not very expensive. So lots of detailed information in there. A lot of Jim's kind of methodologies and ways he does things in the garden. So I think that he has a ton of valuable information to share. That's why we put that together for you guys. But enough of that. I know you guys are ready to hear from Jim. So you guys ready to see this garden? Hold tight. All right, so Jim told everybody last week that was his last market. Ended up having a ton of tomatoes, a lot of kale left still. So he has that kind of put to the side. He put it out on the Facebook yesterday that, hey, I got some tomatoes, I got some kale, so that we're expecting some people to show up here maybe in the next half hour. I'll be out of here by that point to pick up some of these goodies. Something y'all might have noticed, Jim talking to that young lady while I was doing the B-roll. That is Victoria. Victoria is actually our new intern around the farm. She's staying with us at the house. She's been there for about 2 weeks now, and she's doing an awesome job. And I've been spending a few hours with her every week, working throughout the gardens, working on chop and drop, working on some of our animal systems. So you're gonna probably see more of her going forward, especially with some of the new stuff we're doing. Got a lot of exciting stuff in the wraps for June coming up. I actually have 3 new animals coming to the farm. Hold tight on that, kind of a secret. I'm gonna keep it on the wraps until we get there. Whoa!
Hey, Pete!
So you're going back to Maine?
I think so.
Oh, no.
Within a couple weeks, yeah. It's calling me, but I'm glad they didn't call me earlier. They just got 6 inches of snow on top of fresh sprouted garlic.
It's been a little cool down here for May, huh?
Here it's been great, yeah.
Not complaining.
Not at all. It's been great. I just did the last load of compost, I think 14th truckload, and that covered all half acre.
That was this bed over here?
No, actually yesterday was that bed.
Whoa, let's go check that out. Okay.
So that's fresh, just watered in. I gotta save a little more as I pull some tomatoes. I'm gonna mulch on top of that so the weeds don't come up. But that gives me pretty much a good weed-free mulch for the coming summer. You know, and if I get the black plastic down or black ground cloth down tomorrow, I should be set for weeds. Especially since I found out that 35 or 30% agricultural vinegar, or they call it horticultural vinegar, works awesome on weeds.
Wow.
So that's definitely something I learned this year, to get access to that 30% vinegar.
So Jim, it seems like there's gonna be a lot of food here when you're gone. What's going on?
There's gonna be a lot of food. You know, I've got some friends and neighbors that I'm even gonna approach a health food store and ask if, you know, their buyer Sam will come over and harvest the eggplant and tomatoes and just give me a cut. Otherwise, you know, the avocados and the mangoes, you know, my friends will get them.
Okay.
That's good enough.
No complaints there?
No.
So are you leaving this week? When do you come back?
We'll see how soon I get out of here, but I'll make it a point to get back here. It seemed like the last week of September was almost perfect. You know, and I'm gonna try to, you know, have maybe you if you're growing some, but anyway, Jimmy starts some warm season crops again, so try to get some tomatoes in a rotation where this is usually fallow for almost the whole winter, but get that sweet potatoes dug out quickly, get some eggplant and tomatoes and potatoes in there, and then they'll be done by the time I get through here in, you know, March to replant here. So hopefully I'll get it, you know, I haven't been utilizing everything as good as I can.
So for the viewers from Maine, are they going to be able to find you in any markets this year?
If the markets are open, they'll be able to find me, but
okay.
Who knows if the markets are going to be open.
Have they shut them down in Maine also?
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely. They're being more strict in Maine. They've got a progressive governor that's kind of, you know, I'll have to 14-day quarantine when I get there, and that'll be interesting in a tent.
Okay, so you'll be back right in time for fly season?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, but they had the snow. That should slow them down for a while. But yeah, Mother's Day to Father's Day, black fly season.
Ooh.
So I'll be in time for that, and then mosquitoes come out for 2 weeks after that. I mean, I've never grown plants that look this good. I mean, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And there's 10 on that plant alone. And then the peppers too. I mean, this one's actually gonna go red. It's already starting. So that's a red sweet called Carmen. And then something new I did here is before I put down this load of compost, I broadcast the black-eyed peas and then spread the compost on top, and they're popping up.
Nice.
So that saves me. Well, it's 2 inches like normal.
All right.
But and that was actually not the iron and clay. I just bought some at a grocery store that said they came from Brazil. They were bigger peas, so I'm curious to see what they'll do. Because the iron and clay is kind of a small one, but I mean, I don't really count on the pea, but somebody could, including the wildlife. I made 120 yesterday going to market. I mean, with 120, I went to that Sweet Elizabeth's over there in Lutz. She's just opened up, so they're gonna have their salad thing there, and then Wright's took another $65 worth of stuff. So I mean, there's still food as I'm leaving. You know, it's awesome. You know, I keep putting money in my pocket, which is kind of cool, because usually this is, you know, pretty soon there won't be any coming in for about 5 months, so I might as well appreciate that. And it's been probably my best year ever, which surprises me.
Wow.
You know, but it continues to evolve. I think that's the thing, just keep looking at potentials, you know, and seeing where, like I'm saying, I mean, seeing this is a fallow area that I'm not using for, you know, half the winter, so if I can get that into production. You know, watching some of the newer, progressive market gardener videos have changed my view a little. I'm still really off base as far as small scale and not the neat killer rows, you know, so, but I think, you know, that we got a lot to learn from everybody. Somebody's been stealing my kale.
I see that.
They're so abundant.
Hey, I see you over there. Hey.
Hey.
All right.
There we got farm
Kale,
poses.
wow. Yeah. The tomatoes are hanging on really good. You know, we're going to get more questions about the varieties again.
So I don't tag as good as I should have, but the ones over by that eggplant that I thought were 4th of July, when they started coming in, they were stripy, and I didn't even have any seed packet that had a striped tomato. So that was a mislabeled seed packet. But the ones over here that have done so good with no blight late or early are 4th of July, and I'll plant those again for sure.
That was the one, huh?
Yeah, and that's an early one, and I think I'm going to try it in Maine because, again, the reason theoretically you could have it on the 4th of July in Maine. I've talked to the woman that first told me about it, whereas, you know, I'm lucky to get something not even the 4th of August. It's more like the 15th of August is the first tomatoes.
So that's a quick early one.
Yeah, so that's a good one, and that's, you know, that to fit the window of tomato growing time here. Again, a short one's a better one, my opinion. You know, unless you're in greenhouse. You know, and that might be a case in Maine. I'm considering doing some small caterpillars up there.
Whoa!
Just to make it possible for
extending seasons earlier.
Both sides, yeah.
Both ways.
Especially for winter, for Alexandra with carrots and that kind of thing in the ground, that she can just be out and pulling some salad stuff.
Get them going.
Yeah.
Those might be here when you get there this year, huh?
Well, I'm going to put a sign, not ripe until October.
Okay.
And hopefully people will realize that.
Whoa. So no sea of green yet. It's coming.
Well, it's coming quick. You know, I can't believe those sweet potatoes. You can just kind of, you know, stick them in, water them once and forget about them. You know, and they just grow. That's what I've done over the years. And so there'll be a little more diversity in the crops. So I'll be interested to see the video if you pop it up in August, because I got some roselle planted along here, so I'm picturing, you know, the big red calyxes sticking above the sweet potatoes, and then down here I've got 2 different kinds of okra. So those, from what I understand, I've never grown them here, they get like 6 feet, don't they? Yeah, and I mean, and look at, I didn't believe they start flowering that young. I mean, there's pods on that. I mean, there's 4 right there. So, I mean, theoretically, I would have planted those maybe another 3 weeks earlier, I could be eating okra right now. So that's something I'll consider next year too. Otherwise, you know, it's just a transition time. You know, I still got abundance of tomatoes. I've been picking like 15 pounds a day.
Wow.
You see them over at the market stand. I'm hoping a few people come by to buy them, but otherwise I think the health food store will take them, which will be great. But yeah, well, it'll be too late by the time this video comes out, but anybody who's a juicer would be welcome to come by and pull kale, because all this in the next week's going in the compost pile. But think about how nutrient dense that compost will be. I mean, that's some really good nutrient dense food, and I'm just feeding it to the microherd.
Kale injected compost.
Yeah, I mean, that's some awesome stuff. You know, I do believe the more quality nutrient stuff you feed your little critters in the microherd, the better your compost and soil is going to be. But yeah, so there's the 4th of July. And then there's the one I do not know what it is. I looked up online, and the closest thing I can see is, for the size and the color, is one called Guernsey that comes out of the Guernsey Island in somewhere out in England, kind of out in the sea out there.
So you had the seed or volunteer? What are we working with?
I'm thinking it must have been in a mislabeled seed packet, because I didn't plant anything that was supposed to look like that. I wish I would have labeled it better. And I'm probably going to just dig these potatoes and take the little babies that come with it. So that might happen yet today.
Oh, they haven't been in the ground long enough?
No, I mean, they haven't started to flower yet. So this is ones I decided, I think, like 4 or 5 weeks ago that I had them and they might be here. So I imagine they're just tiny little guys. I mean, that's a little bigger. But I mean, again, the yields aren't. There was the mama. You know, so I didn't even get 1-to-1 there. So you plant that and get that. Remember Maine? You plant that and get that.
It does a little better in Maine, huh?
Well, I think, and this was just a grocery store potato that somebody gave me. I mean, they were trying. There'd be more if I would leave them in longer. But I think the heat will take them down. But I can probably sell those for $2 a pound. But probably I'll just take them to Maine and eat them. So not so exciting.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
But there is, you know, this kind of tells the, you know, the polyculture idea with an annual polyculture. So you got potatoes in here that if I would have planted them a little early would be coming on. I've got the okra that's going to really take over there, and then the black-eyed peas and sweet potatoes down there that'll cover underneath. So there's a, you know, I'm starting to believe, you know, you guys, the perennial is the perennial polyculture, but I think if you plant well, you can have an annual polyculture, and that's kind of what I've done over the years just in my bed space, to have a real polyculture with annuals. But within seasonal variations, I think that can be tweaked a lot. I mean, every one of those is going to have, so instead of just one flower, you're going to get, you know, 30 on that.
What variety is it?
It was I think it came from Fedco, and it was like some kind of mix, you know. But they self-sowed themselves, and you know, I would never planted one as late as that one self-sowed. That would have been only probably 4 weeks ago, probably 5 weeks ago. So, you know, who would plant a sunflower, you know, that time of the year? But I guess Cole does, because they've got similar size they're selling right now. So, wow. But yeah, I saved some of that seed. I've saved more seeds this year. That's something new ever since this whole, because I don't know if anybody's been trying to order seeds, but if you are, you're going to have a hard time getting stuff. Johnny's is only selling to farmers, which is pretty cool that they've decided it's better to put that in farmers' hands than people that are just starting out.
Oh, before I forget, I mentioned it in the intro. Got a little something here for you, some of that Fiat, Jim. Whoa!
All right, that'll last me for a long time.
Keep up the good work. So
thanks.
Hoping I'm going to get to see you in Maine this year, maybe. You know.
I think well, if you can get there, I think
anything's
it'll be
possible.
To watch. Yeah, we might have a caterpillar tunnel up there, and who knows? I think we got access to more hay across the road now, because that was always the issue at her place, is that there's not enough grass. But
Jim says, "Hey, grass-fed, right?"
Grass-fed, yeah.
Grass-fed. Okay.
Yeah,
got the
metal
Sife
mix.
Supply. I actually got my new.
Did you?
I got a new blade. I got a pinging tool. I got my new sharpener. I got my Sife Supply order yesterday. So you guys are going to see something from me with the Sife too.
All right. Well, I'll have to see the video of that you mowing. So technique.
Might need some practice from the pro over here. All right.
Yeah. Well. All right.
Let me get a pounder.
Yeah.
Jim. See you in Maine. All right, guys, so that's the last of Jim we're gonna see for spring here in Florida. He is heading back to Maine. I can only hope to get up there this summer to see him. If I don't, we won't see him down here until fall when he gets back. So you guys know I'll be back with the camera to catch up with what Jim's got growing on, what's ripening, what he brings back from Maine. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. The link for Jim's course will be in the description and the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit this like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. Most importantly, pound dirt.